Hi, this is some really cool stuff. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into my assets section right here, and I'm going to go under static. I'm going to click on objects, and I'm going to stick a park bench there. And I'm going to line it up so I can cover that. I'm going to grab one of the corners just to make it a little bit bigger so we're in good shape. Now I'm going to lock it. I am going to call it background though. Now, this is the final what I'm going to have them do their thing on. But what I want to do next is grab some characters. Now, I want to turn this off so I don't get distracted by it right off the bat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for another static, but instead of backgrounds, I'm going to go characters. And I've got a college girl right here that I'm going to drag over there. She's going to take a walk in the park, and we'll line it up later. But I want to show you that it doesn't do anything just yet. I can do control test. Kind of cool. I actually grabbed it just right. That's perfect, actually. Maybe use it a little bit over here and see how it goes. Now, I'm going to come over here and add another later, but for now, I am going to go to animated, and it's going to be character walking, and that's going to be her. But before I do that, let me get that off. That's annoying. I'm going to double click and get into the movie, and character walking from side, and I'm just going to drag it, see if it snaps over there. Well, this is the rigging that they have built into it. And what's really kind of cool about the rigging is it will now allow some movement to go. And if you notice here, it put in some movement. So this movie clip now has her moving around. Now let's test it out. Obviously, I want to have, let's see, 30 frames a second. I probably want to go, let's go 130. Why not? And I'm going to go F5. Give me some playroom. Now I'm going to turn this back on. And let's, okay, there. Click right in there. I'm going to do an F6. And then I'm going to create a classic tween. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to move her. I could actually have her walk off the stage. There we go. So now let's see how it looks. Good. And control test. Now, the thing that I want to point out about this movie clip, this little girl, she's a big girl actually if she's in college. If you double click on that, it's several segments and it matches what the character walking is doing. In other words, each segment has a rigging that's associated with it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drop the rigging without the person. And what I want to do is I'm going to eventually put a man that's stretching. What I have to do is I can either use the one that's already been created for that or have a similar number of segments in the arm, segments in the leg, foot. You know, that's how I can utilize these already. So I don't have to recreate the wheel in terms of walking or jumping or doing some exercise. The other reason I wanted to drag this off to the side is there's another movie right here called Get Started. It is outstanding. I was getting stuck on something. I was doing it pretty close to the right, but I wasn't 100%. So that's why I want to point that out to you. And then what I'm going to do next is I am going to find myself another character. Oh, but I don't want to be unanimated. I want to be static. And I've got a tall guy that's going to be working out here. It's going to be too tall, so let's go utilize that. Hold down my shift key to keep them proportionate. Maybe a little bit more there. Now, just like before, I can come over here. I could do character walking side, but that's really not built for that. So let me double click on this. All these characters, I got a segment there, segment for foot, segment for arm, segment for head. Well, it just so happens that tall boy, oops, let's get rid of it. Deselect that. That'll take care of it. It matches out. Now, I'm going to do another segment, see what this is going to look like. Ah, there he is, stretching. Let's go back to the main scene. So she's walking, he's doing, you can't really tell. So I'm going to have to test the movie. Okay, I kind of like that. I am going to tweak his a little teeny bit. I've got the tall boy. I'm going to click. You know what? Let's just do the whole time. Let's see what happens. It may not look as good as I think it's going to look, but I think it'll be okay. And hit F6. Come back here with my classic tween. This will be the end. I'm going to have him end up here, but he's going to be a little acrobatic. I'm also going to get him a little bit bigger. Now, the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to properties. I am going to have him rotate. Now I want to go counterclockwise, yeah. And I'm going to have him make 2 iterations. Let's see how that looks. Boom. Okay. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to call it rigging. And hit save. Now let's go control, test. Whee! Oh, when I did it earlier, I timed it better. Oh, that's too bad, but it's still kind of silly looking. But I wanted to show you how awesome it is to utilize these riggings for the animation. You know, what you can do is you don't have to rely on these static ones as long as you create something that has this many joints. So let's drag him on. You know, I've got to have a joint here that's rotating, joint, 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 joint. And then you can utilize that rigging, or you can do something like this. Not gonna let me. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Or something like that. And then you can tell it to apply to your movie clip that you created. And then I want to file. I already saved it. Let's export it as movie. And we're done. I don't like how it does that. That's kind of weird lately. And it's rigging _1. Oop. So I've got a little movie that does what I want it to do. So that's how you can quick and easy make some motion based on rigging.